Welcome student. Today we will be learning a chapter from How We Came to Be. Environmental Studies Part 2, Standard 5th. Lesson number 5. Evolution of Mankind. Module 2. Student, in Module 1 we learn about Homo habilis, Homo erectus and Neanderthal man. So, let's study more about these species and their stage. Recap of our Module 1, Evolution of Mankind. As you all know, in our first module, we learned how the skilled man came to be known as Homo habilis by scientists Mr. and Mrs. Louis Leakey. After Homo habilis, we learned about Homo erectus, whose brain were more developed as compared to Homo habilis. These species learned about the technique of fetching the fire from burning branches of trees, but not mastered in making fire. These species too found with their tools in the continent of Africa, Asia and Europe. After Homo erectus, one more developed stage came as Homo neanderthalensis. These species were physically big and strong and known to be as Neanderthal. They first found in Germany. They too impoverished their tools and known the art of making fire by rubbing dry stick of hard wood or by striking one flint stone on another to obtain sparks. So student, all this we have done in our module 1. So let's proceed to our module 2. Learning objectives of our module 2. Neanderthals man, Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens sapiens and civilization. So student, all this we are going to learn in our module 2 of evolution of mankind. As you all know, Neanderthals developed skill and languages. Student, let's continue about Neanderthal species. It was likely said that this species developed some artistic skills, such as making tools from stone in different shapes for their uses. Some scientists believe that they also learned to communicate with each other by producing grunts and other primary sounds. However, it was not known whether they had a developed language system to express their thoughts with the help of words. A good form of observation and learning was there in these species. Researchers suggested that these species posed high level of cognitive abilities. So there was possibility of strong social ties and a degree of rationality. The Neanderthal ancestor suggests They had an auditory sensitivity similar to modern humans and different from chimpanzees. Humans were symbols to communicate and convey their abstract thoughts and ideas. Neanderthal rituals of burying the dead man. Student, on your screen you can see when a member of the group died, the Neanderthal buried their tools, horns such as horns, axe, etc. along with the dead body. Also applied red color means red color powder means ochre to the dead body before burying it. It indicates that these species had established some rituals of burying the dead. Neanderthals migrate to Asia and Europe and impoverish their tools. In the course of time, some groups of Neanderthals left Africa and migrated up to the continent of Europe and Asia. As the climate was unbearable for these species, naturally, they had to face a different environment, and because of this, they had to adapt new ways of living and finding food. Therefore, they went on modifying, impoverished, and their tools which would help them to hunt the big animals, etc. It was also essential in their life. And do you know, student, for this improvement and changes in the way of style, it took place over thousands of years. Neanderthals, named as Homo sapiens, means intellectual man. After Neanderthals, Homo sapiens stage took place. That is, Homo sapiens is the name used for humans that were more advanced than the Neanderthal. Homo sapiens means intelligent or intellectual man. We shall learn more about him later. The Neanderthal and the Homo sapiens were neighbors to each other for some time in Europe. It was believed that due to reason like their conflict means the way of life, living style or etc. were not matched with Homo sapiens and also were inability to adopt the environment changes, and hence Neanderthal species become extinct. C14 dating estimated that Neanderthals extinct. My dear student, on the basis of C14 dating, it is estimated that Neanderthal became extinct about 30,000 years ago. Now the question would arise in your mind, what is C14? So children, C14 means carbon 14 is a radioactive element that is found in the bodies of all living organisms. After the death of an organism, the carbon 14 in the body begins to decrease.
when pieces of wood, charcoal, bones, fossils, etc., from the prehistoric period are found, it is possible to measure the remaining carbon 14 in a laboratory. By measuring the remaining C14 in the object, we learn how old that object is. This scientific method of determining the approximate age of an object is known as the carbon 14 dating method. It is possible to determine the period of the culture to which this object belongs. Then it can be placed on the unilinear timeline. This method was invented by the scientist Willard Libby. Homo sapiens, intelligent or intellectual man. Let's see now the stage of Homo sapiens. It was said that these human species, were more intelligent than any of the earlier species, and they were named as Homo sapiens. In Europe, Homo sapiens is also known as Co-Magnon man. Their remains have been found in the continents of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Homo sapiens also made many different kinds of tools as compared to Neanderthal man. The tools made by these species were useful to suit the tasks they needed to do. They used stone blades and fixed them in grooves and notches, made in wood or bones handles, very useful to hunt or cut. Homo sapiens fully developed to produce sound. Homo sapiens had evolved to the stage of having a fully developed larynx, means voice box, which could help these species to a range of sound with subtle differences. Student, you can see the image of it on your screen, which will help you to understand more correctly. Their jaws and the muscles inside the mouth were well developed and the tongue was flexible. The structure of the larynx, means voice box, the muscles of the mouth and a very flexible tongue together enable human to produce a variety of sound. Homo sapiens express drawing by observation and imagination. When these species were wandering from place to place for food, so whatever they observe, they draw on caves or on land to express their imagination. Homo sapiens could use voice box which were in larynx to produce a variety of sounds and modulate his voice as the way he liked. Using his imagination also helped them to give name to the different things he saw and also put his thoughts and feelings into words. Using all these words, he was able to speak and communicate. In short, we can identify that this species, means Homo sapiens, had a well developed language system. Homo sapiens, intelligent man or thinking man. Student, Homo sapiens sapiens is the name given to the human because the capacity to think developed even further than that of Homo sapiens. The capacity of the brain and the grasping power also developed further with them. Similarity with ancestor because of heredity. Student, do you know we the modern humans are Homo sapiens sapiens? The appearance and health characteristic of human being are all this indicates the similarities to our ancestor, and this is because of the heredity. Genetic science that studies heredity. Student, as we all already discussed in previous slide that all these similarities is because of the heredity. So, genetic is a science that studies about heredity. Genetic research has shown that we have inherited some traits of the Neanderthal man and Homo sapiens, and because of this, we can say both are the ancestor of the modern human. Homo sapiens sapiens cultivating crops. Do you know, students, around 11,000 to 10,000 BC, Homo sapiens sapiens developed the techniques of cultivating land and keeping animals. Because of their well developed capacity to think, the speed at which they improved the technology increased with time. They began to live a more settled life. They began to grow food grains in the fields, and as a result, the amount of carbohydrates in their food increased. Student, let's see the lifestyle of these species as we learn various changes in them. So, the change lifestyle and diet affected the appearance of humans. Their body and face grew smaller than they had been in the earlier generation. The name Homo sapiens sapiens reflects the intellectual and cultural rather than their physical powers. All animals must necessarily meet the basic needs for food. However, modern humans are not satisfied with only doing that much. Through the efforts to enrich their living using their creativity, intelligence, and skills, human beings acquired a culture and continue to develop it. The technological and cultural progress achieved by modern humans after the beginning of agriculture and domestication of animals has been extremely rapid. So, on your screen, you can see how they started a civilization and agriculture. Student, as we know from our previous chapter that the history of the evolution of human that begin from apes, and from module 1 and module 2 we learn it is divided into various stages. In the following lesson we shall learn about various facts of human culture and their different stages. Do you know, student, do you know still now animals and humans fossils been found in a number of countries in Asia, Africa and Europe. The evidence that we have till today indicate that human evolution has not been unilinear, that is, with only one ancestor species evolving into the next species one after the other. The tool and other objects made by them provide the evidence for reconstructing the history of human culture. The capacity of the human brain is much greater than that of other animals. Therefore, humans have a great capacity to think. The muscles of the human face are such that it can express their feelings. Let's do the recap. Types of communication done by Neanderthal men. Ritual and burying the dead members. The basis of carbon 14. Homo sapiens observation and imagination. Genetic science. Change in lifestyle. Evaluation. First, fill in the blanks. Homo sapiens means dash man. Answer is intellectual man. Neanderthals had established some dash of burying the dead. Answer is rituals. In Europe, Homo sapiens is also known as dash man, co-magnon. Fourth, Homo sapiens had a well developed dash system. Answer is language. Second, say whether the statements are right or wrong. The Homo sapiens would only grunt and make some sound. Answer is wrong. Second, the change lifestyle and diet affected the appearance of human. Answer is right. Some group of Neanderthal left Africa and migrated to India. False. Answer in one sentence. What is heredity? Answer is the appearance and health characteristic of human beings which indicate their similarities to their ancestor is known as heredity. Second, describe the tools used by the co-magnon man. Answer. The co-magnon man used tools made of stone blades and fixed them in grooves and notches made of wood or bone handles. Give reason. The Neanderthal became extinct. Answer is the Neanderthals and Homo sapiens were neighbors in Europe. It is believed that due to reasons like conflict with Homo sapiens and their inability to adapt to environmental changes, the Neanderthals became extinct. Second, humans could produce subtle and varied types of sound. Answer is Homo sapiens had evolved to the stage of having a fully developed larynx. The jaws and muscles inside the mouth were well developed and the tongue was flexible. Hence, they could produce subtle and varied types of sound.